So today I put together a $500 minimal gaming setup, which I believe anybody can easily recreate or at least take some parts into their setup. I tried to get items that were both cheaper but still high quality, so let's just get right into it. First off, with the monitor, this is the Kurai 24E3, and this is one of the best budget gaming monitors that you can pick up today. It's a 1080p 24-inch 165Hz monitor, and for the price of $115, those are some pretty good specs. It does also have some pretty decent colors for a budget panel, which is always good to see. And while the response times does say on their Amazon page that it's about 1 millisecond, realistically it's probably a little bit higher, between 2 to 4 milliseconds. It does also come with FreeSync and G-Sync, so whether you're getting a lower FPS in a game, you won't really experience any screen tearing, which is always good. But overall though, it's a really solid monitor, and if you're looking for something that's just a little bit better, I would recommend looking at something from Pixio, as they can give you some better options, maybe that have a bigger screen. But for $115, it's really hard to complain. I will say though, since it is a 24-inch monitor, it's a little bit smaller than what I'm used to, so I did have to push the monitor a little bit closer to my face, and what helped with that is that I actually mounted the monitor on a budget monitor arm. The stand that comes with the Kurai really isn't that good. It doesn't really allow you to kind of adjust the monitor really easily, so I decided to purchase a really cheap budget monitor arm, and it just allows you to get a perfect position for your monitor. So as for the keyboard of choice, I decided to go with something that's a little bit more high-end. So this is the High Ground Base 65 Opal keyboard, and by far this is one of the best pre-built keyboards that you can actually get on the market. I will say though that they are just a little bit overpriced, but there aren't many really other options at this price point unless you want to build your own that have kind of the same kind of specs. The design of the Opal is actually what I like about it the most. The clear keycaps and the white aesthetic is something that kind of just fits the entire setup. But if the keyboard is not your style, there are a ton of options that you can choose from on their website. It does also have the letters on the side, which they call the ninja style, which I don't really mind, but I know some people don't really appreciate it because they're not able to see the text, but really it's personal preference. But overall though, it's a really good keyboard, and I really don't believe you would regret your purchase if you go with this one. For the mouse, I went with the Logitech G305, which has a lot of standout features and is really suitable for just any type of gaming. The mouse uses Logitech's Hero sensor, known for its pretty good accuracy and smooth performance. It can go up to 12,000 DPI, which pretty much makes it ideal for anybody. It uses a 2.4 GHz USB dongle instead of Bluetooth, which is something that I do prefer, and it also does have a 1000 Hz polling rate. The build quality is quite solid. It does have sturdy construction and multiple color options, and I will say it seems to be designed for pretty average to medium sized hands, while also being able to use with both hands, so whether you're left-handed or right-handed, this mouse will work. The only downside though is that there's only side buttons on the left side, meaning that it really only will work with your right hand. The mouse's skates or feet, while functional, may cause some dragging due to the placement of them. Although the scroll wheel is pretty good, it has a tactile feel and it's really accurate, and the switches are lighter and clickier than Razer's, though some people may experience accidental clicks due to the sensitivity. The mouse's weight of 99 grams can be reduced by using a lighter lithium AA battery, which can make it feel better for a lot of people. Although for me, I actually prefer heavier mice, so the weight is already pretty good. Additionally, the mouse does also offer 250 hours of battery life, so you really don't have to replace the battery often. But really though, this is a really solid mouse, but if you are looking for a different option, you can also go with the Attack Shark X3, which has a ton of great features as well. For the PC, which you can see on the screen here, this is my $300 gaming PC that I actually recently put together for my brother. I started the build with the Asus B450MA motherboard that I found on Facebook Marketplace for a steal at $45. I then paired the motherboard with the Ryzen 5 2600 CPU, which has 6 cores and 12 threads, and I picked it up for just $25. And what I love about this platform is that once you do get some more money, you can actually upgrade this path to at least a later 5000 series CPU, which will get you a much better performance than what it already has. And since the motherboard and the CPU didn't come with a cooler, I actually picked up just the AMD CPU cooler for just $10, and it came with a thermal paste, which was nice. Memory wise, I actually got a 16GB kit of 3200 MHz on Facebook Marketplace as well. The speed is pretty sufficient for all of my needs, and especially considering how DDR4 prices have gone down since DDR5's release, it was really a no-brainer. When it comes to storage, usually I wouldn't recommend getting used storage, so I opted for a new 1TB NVMe SSD on Amazon. Even though you can get really cheap storage is something that I just really wouldn't take a risk on. The SSD would provide really good performance and plenty of space for games. However, since the SSD wouldn't come in time for the recording of the video, I decided to just go with the SSD that I had laying around. As for the power supply, it's one of those things that I just also wouldn't really cheap out on. I picked up a Cougar VTE 500 on Amazon for $50, which will give enough power for current parts and some future upgrades in the future. As for the case, I was originally just going to use some really old ancient case that I had sitting in my closet, but the parts actually didn't fit in there, so I decided to just use my old case, which works great. And as for the heart part of the PC build, which is the GPU, I decided to go for the GTX 1070, which I found for just $75. Despite how old the GPU is now, it still performs pretty good in a variety of different games, and since my brother was only really playing esports titles, it works really well. But overall though, it's a really solid build, and if you want to watch a full video on it, I will leave the link in the description below. For the desk, I've always been a fan of IKEA desks, as it usually provides pretty good value for what you pay. The one that I have is the Logitech 10, which I'm probably butchering the name for, which is a pretty decent size and it actually fits all the parts on top. I will say though, it's not the sturdiest desk in the world. It does wobble a lot, especially when you're moving your mouse, but at this point of time, I've been using it for so long, I'm just used to it now. But if you are gonna get this desk, I would really recommend getting much better legs, something like the Alex drawers, to make sure that your desk actually is sturdy. And as for the chair, I really couldn't tell you what the name of this is. I bought this chair at Staples like a couple years back, and I've just been using it ever since. It's comfortable enough and it gets the job done, which is all that really matters to me. And I know there's a lot of benefits of going with an ergonomic chair, but at this point of time, I don't really have the money to get something like that. And I feel like if you want really good posture, it really comes down to how you're actually sitting and how your desk is set up. But for now, really, this chair works fine, and I'm really not looking to upgrade this in the near future. And you may have noticed on this desk setup that there are actually no headphones or a microphone, and the reason for that is actually I just couldn't find the IEMs that I was going to use for this desk setup. I have made a couple reviews on different types of IEMs, so if you want to check that out, I will leave it in the description below as well. But I truly believe that IEMs are the best option if you're looking for a really good sound quality at a cheap price. But yeah guys, that is the entire setup. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a comment down below what you liked about it, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.